boys and girls. Yesterday we discussed the brief history of evolution of democracy in the world. And today we are going to discuss the evolution of democracy in the Mediterranean region. And you know the Mediterranean, okay? So three locations in the Mediterranean region, they are discussed in this chapter by Robert Dahl in his book on democracy. So first he discusses Athens, then he talks about Rome, and he also discusses Italy, the evolution of Italy, of democracy in Italy. So first we start with the opening. That is the, I think it is this slide number 71. Yes, you can turn your phone silent. Turn off your speakers. Otherwise, there will be echo and there will be noise. Okay, Ji, the Mediterranean. The systems of government were made in classical Greece and Rome around 500 BCE. I told you BC. What is BCE? Before Christ era. How many years have passed after the Christ? After the Christ. When Christ lived? How many years before lived Christ lived? How many years before? Yes, yes, 2025. ये जो 2025 है ना, यही उसकी निशानी है. यही कहते हैं ना, सने ईसवी कहते हैं ना, ये ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम से चली है ये सन. ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम की ज़िंदगी से ही चली है ये सन. तो जब जो भी साल होगा उतने साल हुए होंगे ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम को गुजरे हुए. ठीक है. तो जब हम कहते हैं कि 500 BCE, 500 before Christ era. So how much does it make in total? How much time has passed? 500 plus 2025. Okay, so yes, 2500 plus. It is roughly 2500. Okay, roughly it is 2500 years. So systems of government were made in classical Greece and Rome around 500 BCE. These systems allowed many citizens to take part. So the citizens could take part in the system of government. They were built on strong foundations. Those systems of government, they were built on strong foundations. With some changes, they lasted for centuries. With some changes. So they continued to evolve. Changes continued to take place in those systems of government. So it simply means we can understand that a system of government is not a solid thing. It is subject to change. These are slides, this is text. So it is different. It is different. So even if you don't have the access to slides, you can, if you listen to me attentively, you will understand what I am saying. So yes, they are helpful, the slides are helpful, but they are not necessary. You can do without them. Yes. So the systems of government, they are subject to change and they should be able to change. Any system of government, if it is good, it should be able to change. If a system cannot change with the changing times, and it cannot accommodate the uh, newly emerging requirements, newly emerging demands, so then it is not a good system of government. So all good systems of government, they can change, and they keep on changing. So similarly, the systems of government in this Mediterranean region, they kept on changing. They adopted changes, and they continued for centuries. So number one, Greece. Here, Robert Dahl discusses the democratic governmental system in Greece. So, classical Greece was not a country in the modern sense. Classical Greece, the old Greece, it was not a country in the modern sense. It was not one state with one government for all Greeks. Rather, there were hundreds of cities in Greece, in classical Greece, and all of those cities, they had their own governments. So they were city states. They were city states. So they were independent cities. And these cities, they had their own countryside. जैसे शहर के बाहर का इलाका होता है ना, देहाती इलाका भी होता है, तो इन शहरों के साथ देहाती इलाका भी था, कंट्री साइड भी था. The Greek states were city states, unlike the United States, unlike France, unlike Japan, and other modern countries. These modern countries, they are called the nation states. Now, in this modern age, we have nation states. In that classical age, they were the city states. The most famous city state was Athens. Which was the most famous city state? Athens. The Athenians, do you know the capital city of Greece today? What is the capital city of Greece today? Athens. It is still the capital city of Greece, Athens. So 2,500 years back, it was the most famous city state. So the Athenians started a system of popular government in 500 BCE, before Christ era. Popular government. Popular government means democratic government, which in which people, common people, take part. Okay. If there is a monarchy, if it is a popular government, if there is a king, is it a popular government? No. Democratic governments, they are popular governments. So it lasted almost 2 centuries in Athens. Then the city was taken over by Macedonia. Macedonia, जिसको उर्दू में मकदोनिया कहते हैं, उसने हमला किया और कब्जा कर लिया एथेंस के ऊपर. और Macedonia was its stronger neighbor. More powerful, and it occupied Athens. It was located in the north of Athens. In the north of Athens. After 321 BCE, the Athenian government continued weakly. The Athenian government continued weakly. It was a weak state. It was a weak government under Macedonian control for many years. So Macedonia controlled it overall. Then the city was taken again. This time it was taken by the Romans. Roman, another neighbor, Rome. It occupied it. The Greeks made the word democracy. The Greeks, they made the word democracy. Anybody has a marker? There's no board here. There's no board here. No. So the word democracy, it was coined by the Greeks. So, yes, why democracy is called? Speak loudly. I can't hear. Yes, this is what I am explaining. Yes, yes. I am explaining it. Yes, yes. Her question is important. She has asked why Greece is called the birthplace of democracy. Yes, this is the answer to your question. 2500 years ago, the Greeks, they had a democratic system. They started democratic system, and they made this word democracy or democratia. So probably the Athenians made this word. Probably. The Robert Dahl says probably. He is not sure, but probably the Athenians made this word. So the word was made from the Greek words demos and kratos. Democratia. It is made up of two Greek words. One is demos, the other is kratos. Demos means the people. Demos means the people. And kratos means to rule. Kratos means to rule. So in Athens, the word demos usually means all the Athenian people, but sometimes it meant only the common people. Sometimes it meant in Greek only the common people, excluding the elite, apart from the elite, or even the poor. Sometimes it also meant the poor people, demos. So the word democracy was sometimes used by aristocratic critics as an insult. Sometimes the word democracy was used as an insult to the poor, as an insult to the common people. They used it to show dislike for the common people who had taken away their old control of government. So before democracy, they were power elites. There were few families, a few people who had all the power over the city. Then they had to lose power in favor of democracy. Now they disliked those who ruled before democracy, they disliked this system and they used the word democracy as an insult. Okay? Democratia was used by Athenians for the government of Athens. Government of Athens. And for the government of many other Greek cities. This word democratia was used. The word was also used by other Greeks. It was used in Athens and it was also used in other Greek city-states. Athens was the most important among the Greek democracies. Athens. It was the best known then and it is the best known now. Its influence of political philosophy was unmatched. Do you know in the ancient world who were the most famous philosophers? Three most famous philosophers in ancient world. Socrates, Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. All these three, they were in Athens. They were in Athens. So they studied in Athens. Most of them are born over there. So Athens groomed them. That democratic culture, in that democratic culture, these philosophers, they emerged. Okay? So it simply means when people are free, when people have freedoms, when people have the government of their own choice, they can realize their potentials better, even intellectual potentials. So until there were the authoritarian governments in Athens, such big philosophers could not emerge. So when democracy started, the great philosophers also came to the fore in Athens. So it means liberty, freedom, rights, and legitimate government. They are very important for realizing the potentials of the citizens. So in this modern age, you can see all the advanced countries which are economically advanced, which are scientifically advanced, which are politically advanced. Which are those countries? Democracies. Democracies. They are the most advanced countries in this modern age. Okay, name any country which is advanced in all three spheres, all three sectors: politics, economy, and as a social society. Okay, political, economic, and social sectors. China is advanced, it is rich, but it is not advanced politically. Fine. Saudi Arabia and other countries, they are rich. Economically, they are strong, but socially, politically, they are not advanced. Okay, so in Asia, yes, Japan it is an advanced country because it has an advanced political system. Its advanced society is advanced. Its economy is advanced. The other is South Korea. It is advanced, and most of the advanced states are in the Western and Northern Europe. And then you have the North America, Canada, and then Australia, United States. So these are all democratic countries where people enjoy most freedoms. So again, freedom is not absolute; it is relative. So in comparison to other countries, in comparison to developing countries, they are far ahead. So that is why they are called developed countries or advanced countries. So the point which I was trying to make is liberty, rights, freedoms. It has a major role in the advancement, in the progress of individuals, and in the progress of nations. So later, Athens was often shown as a main example of citizen participation. As citizen participation. So when the citizens can take part in the political system, it is called citizen participation. Citizen participation is also called participatory democracy. Participatory democracy, where majority of the citizens take part in politics, in the political system, in making of the governments and in changing of the governments. The government of Athens was complex, as its center was an assembly. It was at the center of the government. So any place where people assemble, जहाँ लोग इकट्ठे होते हैं, ठीक है ना, या लोगों के नुमाइंदे इकट्ठे होते हैं, that is called assembly. So in those days, the Athenians would assemble at that place, which was the assembly. The assembly elected a few important officials. That assembly elected some few important officials. The generals were also elected. Is it strange? Somewhat it is strange. The generals are also elected by the people in Athens. So it may seem strange. However, most public duties were filled by lottery. Lottery, you know lottery? Lottery के कौन-कौन से तरीके हैं? नाम पर्चियां डाल लेते हैं ना, कोई एक पकड़ लिए, एक वो तरीका होता है, वो पानी में भी डाल लेते हैं, लोटे में भी डाल लेते हैं पर्चियां और एक निकाल लेते हैं. अच्छा, एक और तरीका होता है लॉटरी का, वो जो दीवार पे लिख लेते हैं नाम या नंबर लिख लेते हैं, उस पर तीर मारते हैं, जिस पे लग गया वो भी लॉटरी है, ठीक है ना। तो उसी को लॉट कहते हैं एक्चुअली, वो जो मारते हैं ना उसको कहते हैं लॉट, तो उस सिस्टम को लॉटरी कहते हैं। तो तो उसमें वो नाम लिख लेते थे ना मुख्तलिफ शहरियों के जो एलिजिबल होते थे, तो उसके ऊपर तीर मारते थे, जिसके ऊपर लग जाता था वो इलेक्ट हो जाता था। So the spirit, what was the spirit? The spirit was that all citizens were treated equally. Maybe a child or maybe an employee, I don't know. We need to study it further. But there was a space, it was ensured that all the people whose names are there, they have an equal chance to be elected. Equality. So even in the system of lottery, political equality was ensured and political equality was guaranteed. Then all the names which were there, they had an equal chance to be elected. Anyone could be elected. So it was the political equality. So it was their way of running the democracy, the democratic system. All eligible citizens had an equal chance of being chosen. Someday, that an ordinary citizen had a fair chance of being chosen once in his life. Any common Athenian, one day in his life, in his life, not women. At that time, women were not, only men. So any Athenian had a chance to be elected for a high post once in his life to serve as the top presiding officer in the government, just like today's prime minister. Some Greek state cities formed simple representative governments for their alliances, for leagues, and for confederacies. So some small states or some weak states which could not defend themselves on their own, so they had to form leagues और कन्फेडरेसीज, यानी कुछ शहरी रियासतें मिलकर आपस में एक तरह का अलायंस बना लेती थी, इत्तेहाद बना लेती थी, ताकि अगर हमला हो जाए तो वो मिल के दिफा कर सकें. So the main purpose was common defense or collective security. But little is known about these systems. So many details are not available about these systems. They left almost no mark on democratic ideas, and they left almost no mark on democracies. So they are mainly the part of the history, but the basic spirit that is there, political equality, it is equally important today. That was the basic of the democratic governance in those days, in ancient times, and it is equally important, political equality today. They had no effect on the later form of representative democracy. So at that time, there was no representation. All the male citizens, they represented themselves. They would assemble over there and they would make the decisions. Now in this modern age, nation states, they are very big and millions of people are there, rather hundreds of millions. So is it possible that all Pakistanis assemble at one place and decide? Is it possible? It is not possible. So now, how can we run a democratic government? By choosing our representatives. We choose our representatives and they go to the assemblies and make decisions on our behalf. We delegate our authority to decide to our representatives. So they use that delegated authority which we have given them through our vote. So they decide over there in the assemblies on our behalf for our benefit. This is the theory, at least. This is the theory of democracy. This is the theory of representation. So in those days, in ancient Greece, there was no representation. It was direct democracy. It was direct democracy. The people, the citizens, they would decide themselves. Now, we don't choose prime minister, okay? Our representatives, they vote for the prime minister and they elect the prime minister. Similarly, we don't elect the president. The president is elected by our representatives, by our MPs. Fine? So it is indirect democracy. It is representative democracy. Yes. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. The discussion is coming in the next pages. Uh, Democracy and republic. It is just the difference of language. The word democracy, it was invented by the Greeks, and the republic was invented by the Romans. So the Greeks had their own language, Greece, and Greek, and the Romans had their language, Roman. So it is the difference of language, and Robert Dahl has discussed it in this chapter. So lottery never became an accepted alternative to elections. The political institutions of Greek democracy were new. Political institutions of Greek democracy were new. If you want to study the details of that Athenian democracy, you read Judd Harmon's book, Judd, Harmon, Harmon, Judd Harmon. His book's name is Political Thought from Plato to Present. Western political thought from Plato to present. So in its initial chapters, you can study the details of the Athenian democracy. Even the names of different institutions are given, and how were they formed, and how would they function. Sometimes I think the number of their members is also given. Yes. 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 She has asked a question: how the Greek democracy was direct and how our democracy is representative. So I explain it again. In Greece, the eligible citizens who had the right to participate in the government, they were, I think, 40 plus, who had reached the age of 40 and above. They had the right to participate in the system of government. So they themselves, the citizens, they would go to the assembly. Sessions were held, meetings were held in the assembly, and those citizens themselves, they would make the laws, they would elect the government, they would elect the prime minister and presidents, whatever they had, their generals, they would also elect the generals. So the citizens directly made laws. Getting it? So it is direct democracy. Now, we are all citizens of Pakistan. Do we directly make laws for us? No. Who makes laws for us? Our representatives in the Punjab Assembly, in the KP Assembly, in the Sindh Assembly, in the Balochistan Assembly, in the AJK Assembly, in the Gilgit-Baltistan Assembly, and in the National Assembly, and in the Senate. Okay? They are our representatives. We choose them. We delegate our authority to legislate to representatives. They go to the assemblies and they make laws. They legislate for us. So this is why Pakistani democracy is a representative democracy. Clear? Okay. Let's move forward. And the institutions were creative in their time. In Athens, in ancient Athens, the democratic institutions were creative in their time. but they were ignored, even fully rejected during the growth of modern democracy. In modern democracy, those institutions were not adopted. Modern democracy is the representative democracy. Okay, Rome. Now we are coming to Rome. At the same time that popular government began in Greece, it also appeared on the Italian peninsula in the city of Rome. Italian peninsula. If you see the global map, do you see the global map, world map? So you may know there is a peninsula. Peninsula क्या होता है? खुश्की का वो टुकड़ा होता है जो समंदर के अंदर तक गया होता है, उसको क्या कहते हैं? पेनिनस्यूला. अरेबियन पेनिनस्यूला भी इसी तरह है ना, उसके 3 तरफ समुंदर है. अरेबियन पेनिनस्यूला, ये 6 मुल्क हैं, सऊदी अरब और छोटे ममालिक, इसको पेनिनस्यूला कहते हैं. पेनिनस्यूला, इसको पता नहीं क्या कहते हैं. तो ये इटालियन पेनिनस्यूला भी ऐसे ही है. वो जो इटली है ना, आप देखें वो मेडिटेरेनियन के अंदर तक गया हुआ है, उसके 3 तरफ समुंदर है, इसलिए उसको क्या कहते हैं? पेनिनस्यूला. तो इटालियन पेनिनस्यूला में था रोम, में अभी भी है रोम. तो वहाँ पे भी ये शुरू हुई डेमोक्रेसी. द रोमन्स कॉल्ड देयर सिस्टम ए रिपब्लिक. ये दिस आर योर क्वेश्चन, समवन आस्क्ड द रिपब्लिक. The Romans called their government democratic system republic. The word republic came from 2 Roman words, res and publicus. Res and publicus. So res means thing. Res means thing or affair, matter, affair, thing. Res means, and publicus means public. Publicus means public. So res means thing or affair. Publicus means public. So thing of the public. Republic means thing of the public or public affairs. Public affairs. So in simple words, a republic was the thing that belonged to the people. That belonged to the people. The right to take part in government was first limited to the patricians. Patricians. First, only patricians had the right to take part in the government. And who were the patricians? Aristocrats. Aristocrats, the wealthy people. Wealthy people, rich people, powerful. They were the aristocrats. So in the beginning, only the aristocrats, the patricians had the right to take part in government. The common people were called plebes or plebeians. Who were the common people in Rome? Plebes, P-L-E-B-S, plebes or plebeians. They were the common people. So after many struggles, they also gained this right to take part in governing the republic. So they had to make struggle. They struggled. They made demands that we also want to take part in the governance, the common people. So then they got the right. As in Athens, the right to participate was limited to men. So here again in Rome, the women, they did not have the right to vote, unfortunately. So the same was true in all later democracies and republics until the 20th century. So 20वीं सदी तक जितनी भी जमहूरियतें थी दुनिया में, वो मर्दों की जमहूरियतें थीं. औरतों को हक, सियासी हुकूक हासिल नहीं थे, पॉलिटिकल राइट्स नहीं थे. आपको पता है अमेरिका में भी नहीं थे. अमेरिका में भी ख़वातीन को सियासी हुकूक कब मिले हैं पता है आपको? अभी 100 साल नहीं हुआ, ये पिछली सदी में मिले हैं. डू यू नो दिस? ये अभी 100 साल नहीं हुआ. यस, अभी इसी तरह ये जो स्याह फाम थे, अफ्रीकी थे, अमेरिका में इनको भी सियासी हुकूक नहीं थे, बल्कि इक्वालिटी नहीं थी. इक्वालिटी, इक्वल राइट्स ही नहीं थे, वो सेकंड क्लास सिटीजन्स थे. यस, आई थिंक सो। अभी अभी 100 साल नहीं हुआ। सो ये अभी मतलब मैं कई दफ़ा कहता हूँ कि वी आर वेरी लकी, यू आर वेरी लकी, हम इतने अच्छे ज़माने में पैदा हुए हैं। अक्सर लोग इस ज़माने को बुरा कहते हैं, मैं कहता हूँ कितनी गलत बात है। ये तो इतना अच्छा ज़माना है, पिछले सारे ज़मानों से ही अच्छा ज़माना है। इतनी आज़ादी है, इतनी इक्वालिटी है, इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं, इतनी इजाज़ात हैं, इतनी सहूलतें हैं, इतना पीस है, जंगें नहीं हैं। मतलब है पहले तो हर वक्त जंग होती रहती थी, कोई इधर से लश्कर आ रहा है, कोई इधर से लश्कर, तलवारें हैं।
आजकल आज़ादी नहीं है
भाई आप 500 साल पीछे सोचो ना, 100 साल पीछे सोचो, क्या उस वक्त आज़ादी थी?
अगर आप अपनी राइट्स के लिए एहतजाज नहीं कर सकते।
देखो लिसन, मैंने पहले कहा देयर इज नथिंग एब्सोल्यूट। मैंने आपको बताया ना, पहले लेक्चर में बताया था, कोई चीज़ मुतलक नहीं होती, एब्सोल्यूट नहीं होती। लिबर्टी और फ्रीडम्स एब्सोल्यूट नहीं होती, रिलेटिवली होती हैं। दूसरे मुल्कों के मुकाबले में और पिछले ज़मानों के मुकाबले में आप देखें तो मैंने आपसे ये भी कहा था कि अपने आप का मुवाजना, आप जो 300 साल, पाकिस्तान 70-80 साल पुराना सिस्टम है, तो आप उन्हीं सिस्टम्स के साथ इसको मुवाजना करें जो 70-80 साल पुराने हैं, या जो मुसलमान मुल्क हैं या जो एशियाई ममालिक हैं, उनसे मुवाजना करें ना। तो फिर आपको देखें आप टॉप 5 में हैं, आप टॉप 10 में हैं। अगर 70-80 मुल्कों में, लिसन लिसन लिसन, अगर 100 मुल्क में या 70-80 मुल्कों में अगर आप टॉप 10 में हैं, टॉप 5 में हैं, तो इट इज़ समथिंग टू सेलिब्रेट, यू शुड बी हैप्पी। हाँ, अगर हमें मनफी ही सोचना है, नेगेटिव ही सोचना है, मायूसी का ही शिकार होना है और दूसरों को मायूसी में डालना है, तो ठीक है, करते रहें। लेकिन हकीकत पसंदी का तकाजा यही है कि हम साइंटिफिकली, लॉजिकली सोचने का, फिलोसॉफिकली सोचने का सोचें, तरीका इख्तियार करें। देन वी विल कम टू नो our society, our country has achieved so much. We have accomplished so much. We are much better than majority of the Muslim states in human rights, in freedoms. Our media is the strongest media in the Muslim world, I can assure you. Pakistani media, it is the strongest media in the whole Muslim world. And in human rights, yes, again, freedoms, political freedoms, no Muslim country has freedoms as Pakistanis have. Similarly, in Asia, there are 2-3 exceptions like Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, okay? All other Asian states, they are behind Pakistan in human rights. I visited Malaysia, and the people cannot talk politics in Malaysia. No professor even talked to me, discussed me. They mind it. If you talk to them, their political system, they mind it. The Malays, they are in minority, but they have all the powerful posts in their constitution. The rest of the Malaysians, they are not equal, so there's no plurality. The Indians and the Chinese, they more, they work more, but they also pay more taxes. And most of the subsidies, who gets most of the subsidies in Malaysia? Malays who are in the minority. So it's a minority rule in Malaysia. So there's no political equality. Even in the constitution, there's no political equality. So in the Muslim world, Pakistan is the leading country. In Asia, Pakistan is in the top 5, economically, democratically. No, not economically, socially and politically. Economically, if you look at the states which have minerals, oil and gas, they are rich. Economically, they are better than us. But they are not better because they have worked hard. Whatever Pakistan has achieved, it is due to our hard work, our capability. Okay? The oil-rich states, they are not rich due to their capability. It is because of the natural endowments. They got the oil and they became rich. So, the point is, in Pakistan, yes, there are problems, We need to have more democracy. We need more rights, more freedoms, but it is not absolute. Okay, so we should be happy whatever we have. We should celebrate it, and if we acknowledge it, then I think it will lead us to more freedoms. It will bring us more freedom. So otherwise, if we keep thinking negatively, we will become depressed, and there will be nothing to celebrate. So I always say, be positive. Okay, there is a famous Indian movie, and there is a famous dialogue in it. Be positive. Okay, Munna Bhai. So be positive. Think positively. Okay, the Roman Republic began as a small city. How many slides in Rome? It is the 135. Oh, it went to the start. Rome starts at which slide? Slide number. No, where Rome starts. Discussion on Rome. 126. 126, it starts at 126. So I think we should stop here. We should stop here. In the next class, we will start with the Rome. We will discuss Rome and Italy, and if possible, the Northern Europe. So I think in the next week we will complete this chapter. So it is 9:18. So with this, today's session comes to an end. Thanks for being with me.